Get your Pixar lists out, guys, because today on Gone with the Wind, we'll be talking all about, you guessed it, Pixar. And also Spider-Man Far From Home, because it just came out. So we're topical like that. Cue the music! Is that your go-to song, even though that's not our theme song?
No.
Because that's the third time you've done that.
It's just easy to hum.
Okay. All right, hey everybody, welcome to the 25th episode of Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows and everything in between, ranging from the Academy Awards all the way to... Actually, what are the Emmys, guys? Do you know when the Emmys are?
I have no idea.
Do we watch enough TV to comment on Emmys?
No. I watch Glow every year.
That is true.
They're on September 14th.
Okay. We still have a little ways to go, but we could talk about that. I don't know. We could... The problem is I don't watch enough TV yet to comment upon that, so we'll put that off in a little corner until further notice. But everybody, welcome again to Gone with the Wind. Today, specifically, of course, the Oscars haven't started yet, Golden Globes haven't started yet, the award season has not officially started, but we kind of discuss every other week, discussing the news in film in general, as well as this kind of, the movies that have released, discussing them with a group of friends here, as well as, what have we watched, what are some trailers that have come out, overall general discussion, keeping you guys up to date during this dry season. With me today, we have Ryan.
What is up?
I now leave the floor to Abe.
Hi, hello, good morning. How are you? I have nothing else to add.
Thank you. All right, and Malcolm.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
General Kenobi. Keeping that meme alive. Thank you guys again for coming back to this other 25th episode. We are a quarter of a way to 100, which we'll get there eventually. But still, just think about that. We've done 25 episodes, so that's really cool. It is now the podcast officially has more numbers than I have in my age. Let that sink in. Wow, I am not qualified to host this podcast now that I'm saying this out loud. All right, but yeah, today we're going to start off with simples, and that is, what have we watched this past week, and what have we liked and enjoyed? We're going to save the Far From Home discussion until later after we get to trailers and stuff like that. However, we're going to be dissecting generalization about what we've seen in a couple of sentences. I'm going to go start with Ryan. What have you watched this week, be it movies or TV? What type of entertainment have you consumed?
I'll start with the movies. So in theaters, I did go see Child's Play finally. That movie's demented, but fun. And Far From Home, which we'll talk about. But I also had the chance to start my Tarantino rewatch. So I watched Reservoir Dogs and I watched True Romance because I'm going to watch his writing credits as well. Which is always whenever I get to revisit the world of Tarantino, I always have a good time with that. And I'm excited about the end of the month. Hey, first big topic for us.
Wow. Yeah.
And on the TV front, I started Stranger Things, but not close to being done. I watched the first season of Rick and Morty. I know I'm very behind, but, trying to catch up with the rest of the nerd world on that very funny show. And I watched the first couple episodes of Jon Favreau's Chef Show, which I discovered on Netflix, which is maybe the greatest thing to happen to me in several months because it's... sometimes you just need that burst of happiness and food porn in your life. And that's exactly what I get.
2 questions. Can you sell me on that? Because I've been debating watching it because I still have a lot of stuff on my list. So convince me to bump it up a couple notches. And 2, have you seen the episode where Gwyneth Paltrow confuses what Marvel movie she's in?
Yes. That's the very first episode.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So I would pitch this. Did you like the movie Chef? If the answer is yes, you should probably watch this. Do you like to cook?
Yes,
if the answer is yes, you should watch this. It's kind of it's a cooking show crossed with Dinner for Five in a way, crossed with Jon Favreau being Jon Favreau. I'm honestly just convinced we would be friends at this point. Like,
he just seems like an awesome guy. I'd love to just hang with him for a day.
It's so casual and spoilers, I'm using that term very loosely here. there's a thing where they like make beignets in the second episode, but it's like made out of a box mix that's old, and like the chef guy tries it and it's like so bad. He's like, he tries to hold it and he's like, wait a minute, on this show we're being honest, this is stale as shit. And it's just like this very fun, like honest, like kind of like lighthearted show, and it's a great charming piece. And if you like cooking shows as kind of like a zen relaxation thing to watch, I really think this is like a must see.
I'm going to watch this then. I will definitely put this on my list now. Okay, and actually, how's Mark Hamill in Child's Play? Because the big thing about he's replacing the previous actor. How was he? Or does it
He's
matter?
fine. It doesn't really matter. The person who has the most to do is clearly Gabriel Bateman, and he does a good job again with another horror movie. And it was just the right level of demented. Like it was fun, it was entertaining. I was into it. All
right, so Abe, what have you seen this week besides
Many.
Spider-Man Far From Home? Oh yes.
I watched Annabelle Far From Home, which is the
Wait a minute.
the 3, 4, which is the 6th chapter in the Conjuring universe if you count the Curse of La Llorona, which was really bad.
Did you say Annabelle Far From Home?
I think I did.
You did.
And that was not on purpose.
I thought it was, and I was like, okay, we've heard the joke before, Abe.
Yeah. That was not on purpose. Yeah, the 6th chapter. And I think it just gets to show that they kind of know what to do with this, because even though they're not like the most amazing piece of horror or cinema, they're really entertaining. They're fun to watch, especially when you have a friend which is 22 years old and gets scared and have to have your hand that entire movie, which is kind of weird. But like when you force them to watch movies like that, it shows that it's kind of entertaining. It's really entertaining movie. Like there's nothing else. Like I think the performance, and it's like a commercial for future Conjuring movies. Well, in the have you watched the trailers?
I have not actually.
Yeah. Well, Annabelle is like in the basement or something, like in a room with a whole thing of how would you call it, like evil objects. I don't remember the word.
She's where the rest of the other evil artifacts are that the Warrens keep.
Artifacts, yeah. And some things, when evil is there, some things get a little life, and it just gets to show like they have like 20 movies there at least.
Of course they do.
What they
can
do.
They do.
But like it's really interesting film. Like I would recommend it. I think it's I haven't seen the first one, but I will put it like just behind the last one, which was I don't know.
Creation.
But yeah, Annabelle Creation. I think it's less entertaining than that, but it's still a fun movie. I still recommend it to go watch.
Now, is that lawsuit? I'm guessing it's gone now, whatever it was, since they were able to make more.
Oh, they settled.
They settled. Okay, I'm about to say we have a lawyer on the podcast, so
it only has to do with the Conjuring movies, but I do recall it settling.
Okay, do you know when that settled?
I don't. Let me look it up.
But
again, it doesn't affect these side movies because these are not based on the book. It's just the Conjuring specific, like the Conjuring chapters.
Okay, those that have to deal with the Warrens. Are the Warrens in this one, Abe?
Yes, they are.
Oh,
they're like a book, and they're at the beginning and they're at the end.
It settled in 2017.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it's like they leave their daughter with a babysitter, and then things happen, and then they come back. It's like the movie happens in one night, like the entire room. Well, 2 days, 3 days maybe, but like the whole movie, like the good pieces you can call it, happens in one night. It's like a haunted house movie, and it's really fun.
All right, no taken. All right, Malcolm, what did you see? What have thou seen?
Well, aside from Far From Home, I also saw Child's Play. I thought it was really great, and I actually preferred the remake over the original because I thought this one took a different path to it, and it made a lot more sense than a serial killer just inhabiting the body of a doll. That they actually made the doll its own sort of entity without having to go, it's possessed by someone.
Isn't it like AI?
Yeah,
Mhm.
AI like that imprints on
Interesting.
the person controlling, and that's kind of where the protectiveness comes from. It's like he's protecting this kid from from what he perceives is hurting him. So that's an entertaining twist on it. So
Huh.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
but this is one that I actually love. Sort of Mark Hamill as Chucky is just fun.
I really dislike. There are two things in horror that really scare me, and I don't know why, because they aren't scary in real life. But that is clowns and dolls.
Both of
And
those are definitely scary in real life. I'm just gonna point this out.
well, I know. Hey, you know what? I've known some pretty nice clowns, but when they're supposed to be scary and you go to those haunted houses, then they're terrifying. But on a normal basis, clowns aren't scary. That's what I mean. But if they're trying to be scary, they're scary.
They're unnerving.
You
Yeah,
haven't met some nice clowns there, then.
I'm just waiting for the Toy Cinematic Universe, where they combine Toy Story, Child's Play, and Annabelle in the same universe.
They had those posters.
And of course, the kid in the new Child's Play movie is named Andy.
Is he?
Which,
Oh wow!
most conveniently.
But the other thing that I watched is the Tolkien biopic. Despite what some of the critics have been saying about this being terrible, I enjoyed it. It wasn't one of the best biopics of the year, but definitely wasn't a terrible movie. Like, it did a couple of things which I didn't like them doing, because they used it as a style of like a flashback kind of thing. Like, you know, instead of the most biopics doing, we'll start from this point in the life and then flashback, then show his life leading up to that point and then continue on. They flashback quite a few times between the war and Tolkien's life, which kind of broke up very unevenly in the movie. But I mean, the acting in that was good. Like Lily James, I think, was the love interest in this. And Nicholas Hoult.
I know you're talking about. I think it's Lily Collins. Lily Collins.
Yeah.
Say the first name, right?
Yeah, you did. You did. I just know because Phil Collins. I'm like, Phil Collins is daughter. Yeah, that one.
And Nicholas Hoult was great as Tolkien, but
She really
it's not as unwatchable as critics are saying.
Okay. But no, man, Nicholas Hoult. I really want him to get like a really, really good role. That man is a very consistent worker, but he hasn't had like anything that's kind of like, gotten him his big break. I guess Beast, but that's not the same. Like anything like that's something with some clout. The biggest thing was like The Favorite, but he was kind of like passed aside when he was fantastic in that.
He was in Mad Max. Yeah.
But
Well,
even
like,
and no one talked about him except if you want to say, what's that famous line? Witness me. What is it? Witness me. That's it. Okay, I was right.
Isn't he the guy that says, "What a day, what a lovely day"?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, he has that. But I mean, like something with some Oscar caliber, because he has it in him.
I mean, maybe he's in one of our trailers we're talking about.
That is true.
Look at those.
Which we'll go to in a second. But first, I'll quickly say what I watched this week. I did a lot of rewatching this week because I felt like this was a week to rewatch. I saw Toy Story 4 finally, which we'll kind of discuss a little bit when we get to our Pixar main discussion. And I actually agree with both Abe and Ryan. So I'm somewhere in there between as normal. I loved it, but I also have some quarrels with its existence. So there we go. And I also watched recently Spider-Man Far From Home. I rewatched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with my sister because I felt like it, and it's still fantastic, still wonderful. And what else? I rewatched the first season of Westworld within a span of a week because, man, I love this show. I love that show so much. Like, it's probably jumping up I'm actually working on a video essay right now, in particular regarding the use of, because that series has layers upon layers upon layers. It's ridiculous what Nolan and Lisa Joy managed to do. So I'm dissecting a specific layer regarding their use of biblical allegories and literary devices to kind of question the nature of free will and faith and all that stuff. And it's really fascinating. So look out for that, hopefully along the way. I'm going to plug here because I can do that. Look out for that video essay coming out hopefully soon. It's going to be a long one because I'm putting some in-depth research into this one, hopefully. So look out for that one as we get closer toward maybe September. It's a farther away, but look out for that. And yeah, that's really all I focused on this week. We're going to move directly onto trailers now. Actually, I'm going to pause for a second. Is anyone excited for Westworld Season 3? Or...
Oh, well, no.
No? No one? Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah?
mean, Westworld's a show that like I enjoy when I'm watching it, but I don't think about it otherwise. I'm just kind of
Okay.
like, okay, Westworld exists. And
Fascinating.
so I'm excited in that when it comes out, I'll watch season 3 and I'm sure I'll be interested, but I don't spend a lot of time dwelling on it. And I haven't really been feeling possessed to go rewatch Westworld.
Yeah, there's something about that show that just literally possessed me, and just I've been thinking about it nonstop. It is one of those movies that just kind of stuck with me. Shows. I binged it, so it felt like an extended movie.
Same difference.
Yeah, you know what? It's a long movie. I've been sticking. It's been sticking with me forever, and not forever, but at least for these couple weeks that I've had since I first watched it. Anyway, before we get to the trailers, there is a particular trailer that Abe literally just reminded us of, and I can't believe we forgot it. Abe, what is that trailer?
Knives Out. I was on Twitter
Yes.
and I saw a picture of it and I remember.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that one. So, Abe, can you give a little more background about what Knives Out is? And
I have no idea what it is. I know it's directed by Ryan Johnson and it stars Chris Evans and a ton of Daniel Craig. I think is the main character.
yes, he is. So what was your thoughts initially on the trailer? Well, Ryan, I'm gonna call you out. Go watch it while we quickly have some time. This is probably our biggest trailer with any Oscar type of attention.
You know,
It's okay. I watched it yesterday.
The movie looks really entertaining, but I don't see it to be an Oscar contender. Like if we talk about the context of the show, it just looks like what's the name of that movie directed by Kenneth Branagh that came out like a couple years ago?
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, that one. Which I really like. I don't know why. It looks like that. Looks like that kind of film. Like it's a really fun movie, but it's not gonna get pushed for Oscars. I just have the sense of it. It comes out when? It comes out November 22nd or November 27th. So it's like it just looks fun. And I think that's why you go because you have this incredible cast, which probably they're gonna get like 10 minutes of each of screen time, or probably less than it. But I don't see it to be like an Oscar contender. I don't think Ryan Johnson has that pedigree. I mean, he's a really talented director, but like he's not known for his Oscar contending pictures, other than Star Wars, which got nominated like for 3 awards. But I don't think those come like higher, like high.
Wasn't Looper close to like getting like WGA or something?
I don't know.
I need to look at that because I could have sworn Looper got some sort of like recognition, and no Oscars, but still. I'm going to agree. Like, I think this could, in theory, get something like costumes or maybe production design, and they have to love it. Like this could, I would not be surprised. Actually, I kind of would be surprised if it's got like a SAG cast ensemble. Regardless, this is a fun trailer. I was excited about it, like timidly excited, but what the direction that Johnson is going with it, this feels like something Agatha Christie wrote, in the same vein that Kenneth Branagh directed, but something completely different as well. I'm excited to see Daniel Craig do something that's not James Bond. I'm always excited for that because remember when did you guys see Logan Lucky last year or 2 years ago?
Great in it.
He's fantastic. So I am always excited when he is there, doing his thing that's not James Bond. I'm excited to see him kind of break through that mold. Also, Chris Evans breaking that Captain America image over there, one step at a time. Who else was standouts in this trailer? I'm trying to remember. Malcolm, what did you think of the trailer?
I mean, I had no idea what this movie even existed before the trailer came out.
Really?
I saw a trailer for a new Ryan Johnson movie. It looked good. It looked fine. The cast is great, but it just looked fine.
I think I remember reading an article. I don't know if it was the Hollywood Reporter where they put this movie as the most anticipated movie of the year, like of 2019. Like they count Avengers and everything, but like just because who was directing, who was starring it, like it was supposed to be one of the best of this year. And I don't see that in the trailer. Probably it's gonna be fun, as I said, but like I don't think it's gonna add anything to the Oscar race or.
But let me just tell you about this cast we have. Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Anna de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, Don Johnson, Michael Shannon, Lakeith Stanfield, Catherine Langford, Christopher Plummer, Noah Segan, and also apparently Frank Oz is going to make a cameo appearance. So why not? This is a really great cast. Ryan, what did you think of it?
I'm curious. Ryan Johnson and I are still on a little dicey terms, but I'm curious to see what he'll do with this. I just watched the trailer for the first time just now as you all were talking. It looks interesting. It's got a bajillion good actors in it. I really liked Murder on the Orient Express, so I could go for something in that vein, and I'm curious to see what Ryan Johnson's Whodunit looks like. It has one of my favorite young actors who has apparently changed his name for no reason at all. And yeah, I'll be interested to see what this looks like.
May I ask who's that actor?
Jaden Martell, apparently, as opposed to Jaden Lieberher, as he's been in. He was the kid in Midnight Special. He was the kid in what the hell? The movie that everybody hated that I loved. Book of Henry. He was
Oh, okay. I know who he is.
So I'm curious. We'll see.
Interesting. That's the kid from It too, right?
Yeah.
Or Chapter 2 coming out. All right, well, that's that. We have that looking. So we don't think it's going to do anything damage-wise, but at all? Nothing?
Probably not.
Probably not? Okay. But you know what could do it because, well, maybe do it. These trailers, like, these are a lot of, like, the dumping grounds a little bit, but this one literally was the dumping ground. They dumped it because they didn't know what to do with it, because this was originally supposed to come out in 2017. However, the Weinstein, the entire Weinstein company just imploded after Harvey's.
The entire Weinstein company just disappeared.
Literally, that they just kind of like liquidated their assets or whatever, and now he's in court right now. He's not going to jail yet. He's still in court, right?
Yeah.
For the allegations regarding his very, very how do I say this?
Professional methods.
His very public professional methods, the unspoken truth in Hollywood.
The good old casting coach.
Oh boy, there's a reason that is. Moving on, the current war is trying to devoid itself of the Weinstein name, and instead actually finally coming out, and they're dumping it this year, October 4th. So it was bought by Lantern Entertainment. Is this doing anything, guys?
I watched it 5 minutes before we started, and I already forgotten who is it. I remember Spider-Man was in it.
Yes, it stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Thomas Edison, Michael Shannon as George Westinghouse, and Nicholas Hoult as Nikola Tesla. And Tom Holland is there as some guy named Samuel Insull. I don't really know who that is, but
a relatively important electrical science.
Well, shows how much I know about.
Okay, but although I think that adds to the point, though. Like, the AC/DC wars, like, no one cares.
No.
Literally no one cares. Not even science nerds care. I don't understand.
What? Okay. In theory, they could make a very compelling movie out of this.
Yes, about how
However,
people said DC would kill your pets, even though it wouldn't. But
It's-
it's just like
it shows how
that's
much
an
we know.
actual thing, by the way.
I believed you.
They
I'm like,
claimed that DC electricity would kill birds, and
and that's how the population died. We have no more birds
Yes.
now.
I'm actually really excited for this movie myself. Because this is a period of history that I've always wanted to see in a movie. Because the current wars I found really interesting.
You just got told up, Brian.
okay,
So
I'm sorry.
wants to see it.
fine.
This is something that I've always found really compelling to just find out sort of why it all happened and sort of how the process of it. So, and I mean the casting looks great. Like Nicholas Holt's always been sort of great in everything. Like Benedict Cumberbatch has shown that he can do various things. Like and Tom Holland. Not Tom Holland, but the I can't remember who's playing Westinghouse now, but
Michael Shannon, Nicholas
Mike
Hoult.
Shannon?
Michael Shannon is the one I was thinking of, but Michael Shannon looks really great. But yeah,
Do you think anybody involved in the production of the movie still cares about it?
No, that's why I think it's literally going to be dumped. But I'm still excited because I like the cast. I like the cast, and it looks like it's a competently made film. But
I mean, it's directed by the guy
yeah.
that did Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Came out like 2 years ago. Do
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
like-
remember that movie?
I mean, you never know. It could be like an imitation game type thing. Again, nobody really cared about Enigma, even though they should have. By the way, I make that claim. But
what is it in the?
yeah, I'm about to say, what is?
did you
the
guys
Enigma?
not
I
see
don't-
the imitation
I've
game?
not even heard of it.
Oh! I thought you said the movie Enigma. I'm like, did they make a movie about the Riddler? I missed that
No.
completely. No, I love the Imitation Game. I love that movie.
Yeah.
That's
But like that's what I think this movie can aspire to.
it could.
I don't know if it's going to get there, but that's
Probably
that's what it can aspire to. And I don't just say that because Benedict Cumberbatch is in both of them. It's just a very similar topic.
Hey, he's apparently now the period piece guy that want to go to during this time period.
Period
Apparently.
British scientist.
Yes.
Cast Benedict Cumberbatch.
Like, is Benedict Cumberbatch not there? Get Eddie Redmayne. He won an Oscar.
Done.
They can't tell the difference, right?
I can't tell the
I'm just waiting for Benedict Cumberbatch cast as Albert Einstein.
I would not be surprised if they
You
managed.
never know.
They tried to do that. So this isn't doing anything either.
It could be. It's probably one that's more hard to tell because
Hmm.
it's one of those ones which is probably made to appeal to Oscar people. But
Yep.
it's going to be interesting because that could be a kind of a out there one which comes out of nowhere to get some awards buzz. But I think the length of wait for it may have hurt it as well. So that it's going to be an interesting one on both of those occasions. So.
Although,
I think it's going to have to be like really stellar to get over the stench.
oh yeah, okay.
Like people still have a Weinstein stench, and it's just
What's going to make that stench even greater, though, is that apparently Lantern Entertainment is an independent film studio that is the successor to the Weinstein Company. It's a separate company, and apparently it purchased the entire assets of the company during a bankruptcy auction.
sure. But
So-
just it's whatever it is. It's fine.
I didn't know that until I literally looked it up, and so that makes sense. Why they would pick that one? They picked up everything, including like apparently the Weinstein Company's 277 film library. They picked up all of those.
Jumanji, your thing we're talking about.
Yes, Jumanji: The Next Level. Thoughts, guys?
This is a really interesting one because it looks like the only one that's going to be the same kid that goes into the game is Karen Gillan, but
Yes.
everyone else is going to be different ones, including I believe Jack Black is Danny DeVito.
No, Jack Black is the tall black guy.
Yeah, the jock. I don't know his name.
Sorry.
The Rock is Danny DeVito.
Yeah, and that guy and Danny Glover is who's Danny Glover? It's Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Kevin Hart's the other old dude.
Yeah, Danny Glover.
But it's going to be interesting because obviously something's happened to Spencer, and that's probably what the storyline's going to be. Spencer's going to be the Nick Jonas of this one, and we're going to find out where he's gotten to in this.
That's my theory on it as well. Because the fact that they chose this direction, I had no idea they were going this direction. And when I saw the trailer actually in theaters for the first time, I was on board because it's different. It's something I didn't want another Jumanji movie, even though I liked Welcome to the Jungle. I wasn't looking for another one. So this is something different that I'm excited about. What do you think? Oh, sorry.
I mean, the other big question is where did Bethany go as well? Because she was also somewhere else as well.
All right, what do you guys think? The rest of you two, right there.
Yeah.
You know, like you, I enjoyed Welcome to the Jungle, but was not looking for another Jumanji. I'm worried that this is probably going to wear out its welcome, but, you know, I didn't think that the other one was going to be good. So why not?
Yeah,
Let's go see what this is and see if these guys can impress again, because, you know, last time it was really funny, and it's all I can hope for at this point. This trailer didn't move my needle at all.
Fair. And then Abe.
Of course, I really like this trailer because I really like the last one, and I thought like I'm looking forward for this movie way more than I was like. When did the trailer come out? A week ago.
Roughly.
And I was thinking, how are they gonna make a second one? I was thinking maybe they grab the kids and put them in the Rock, Karen Gillan, and the characters, whatever their names are. But like they pull old ones. The only thing that worries me is the Rock making Danny DeVito. That's the only thing.
That's the
like that. Yeah, that can get old. So I'm really looking forward for this because I mean the last one made like a ton of money, made like almost $1 billion,
which is crazy.
It made hella money. There's no
out of 90 million budget. Do you think they're cheap, like cheaper than I don't know Spider-Man or whatever? Yeah.
Although. In defense of this movie, I thought that the characters they would play, specifically Jack Black's character, whoever the young girl adaptation he was playing in the first one, would get old real fast. It didn't. Turned out to be one of the funniest things in the movie. So,
yeah,
we'll see how this one turns out. And of course, guys, there's a lot of little trailers for movies here and there, but nothing that really caught our eye. Midway is also a trailer. Not looking forward to that too much, considering Roland Emmerich.
I am looking forward to it.
Well, we have one person looking forward to it, but Roland Emmerich has not made movies that I have enjoyed, so I am not looking forward to this one. Just look at Stonewall, because his track record when it comes to dramatic films are not the best. And also we had The Good Liar, which looks like a really good movie with two very good veteran actors. But other than that, doesn't seem to be something that the Academy will go for, unless they feel like we love Helen Mirren so much. Why not? Because she almost made it in for The Woman in Gold. Let's not forget that. Thank you, SAG. Moving right along now, we're going to go to the news. We have the Oscar news, guys. For the first time in a while, we actually have an Oscar news. The New York Times specifically shared they're the new because every year they try to bring in people to the Academy. And the past few years, they have done a great job in trying to diversify and bring in female and minority membership and try to increase those for the past 2 years. Because, they've had really interesting rules because some people who may be in the business are no longer actually making movies and just kind of there. So they're actually trying to find people who are actually working. So some of the people they have brought on are Lady Gaga. What was that? Was that Abe? Would you like to sing something for us?
I was singing.
Would you like to sing it for us?
Tell me something, girl. Are you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more?
Okay, we're good. Hey, we also have Elizabeth Moss was brought in, which I was surprised she was not there yet. Letitia Wright, Claire Foy, and then Gima Chan are some of them as well. Gima Chan, excuse me. Jimmy Chin, who co-directed the Oscar-winning documentary Free Solo, and other notables include Annie Lennox. Oh, they're just getting Annie Lennox in here. Okay. Jamie Bell. I'm reading it for the first time. Jamie Bell, who apparently was not in there yet, and Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Ha ha.
Yeah. Some other names that have been brought in that were mentioned on Collider that wasn't in this article, but Tom Holland's going to be invited in. Winston Duke and Adele is also being finally invited in as well. So
Adele Dazeem? What?
No, like Adele, who did Skyfall.
Oh, I know. Don't remember that joke.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, making sure.
I try to forget the joke, but I mean Adele Dazeem might already be in there, but
She might.
But so like this is quite an interesting group of ones. Like there's some people that I actually just thought were already there. Like Ryan said, a lot of the Oscar voters probably tend to automatically get invited a year later. But to see people like Adele getting in, it's been a while since she won for Skyfall. And to see some like other young and up and comers like Letitia Wright and Tom Holland sort of coming in, especially off their big superhero portrayals as well. So it's definitely an interesting group of new voters that came in because there's about 800 this invited in.
842.
Jesus Christ!
I know they want to add a little more. Those have been invited. They haven't accepted specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, but like,
I mean, if you get invited, you accept the Academy.
I mean that's true.
No, I'm not going to join the Academy.
Pull Woody Allen. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, Spider-Man: Far From Home. The second movie in the Sony Marvel partnership. We have Spider-Man going all the way with his classmates to Europe for a field trip. And of course, right when he thinks he's going to have a fun time, just enjoying and trying to get a little closer to MJ, Michelle, for all of us that we know, he runs into Nick Fury, who has a special mission for him. And that is fight the elementals with Mysterio until things actually start to go awry. I won't spoil yet. We'll go into a spoiler discussion a little bit later, but something happens which maybe people can start to guess because those who know comics kind of know what might happen. Regardless, this is our quick spoiler-free thoughts regarding Spider-Man: Far From Home. I'm going to start with Ryan. Ryan, give us your quick thoughts, spoiler-free, regarding Spider-Man: Far From Home, the final film in the Phase 3 Marvel Universe.
I was into it. I think that this was the best Marvel movie of the year by quite a wide margin.
Oh.
I think that it had an ethos to it, and it really delivered on what it was trying to do. It was funny. It was entertaining. Jake Gyllenhaal was excellent. Tom Holland is always excellent. I like that they gave more things for Angourie Rice to do, and she was hilarious. That was a little overkill in this movie. But like overall, I just had like a really good time. You know, it was bold. It was interesting. I think that this Sony Marvel collaboration that they've done with Spider-Man for these last two movies has really paid off. I think that even though Spider-Verse is probably my favorite Spider-Man movie, I was just going through this the other day. Homecoming and Far From Home, you know, are both, at least in my view, quite a bit better than the others. And I think that the way that they've set up this world and keep bringing you back to this sort of feeling while keeping it Marvel-y, but having its own sort of identity in a realistic way. I've enjoyed quite a bit, and John Watts doesn't get any credit, but he must be doing something right here because this is working.
Absolutely. All right, Abe, what'd you think?
I really, 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 really enjoyed this movie. I honestly thought, like, I was not as much of a fan of Homecoming. I still liked it, but I was not like thrilled with it. and this one like really super. It kind of feels fresh for me because like it's set on another location. It's different from most MCU films. Still has still the same tropes of the MCU, but makes them work differently. And also, it's probably the best love story in an MCU movie between yeah, yeah, actually it is between MJ and Peter, which really works. And I mean, there's some funny joke. Like it has a ton of surprise. Like there's many things like you don't see coming, especially at those post-credit scenes. Like they're like shit, like shit in a good way. Like you scream that when they happen, and it's really funny. And I think it also has some commentary of what we in the kind of world we're living in with certain things that happen. Because I mean, can I say it has like
Can you
it has?
say
I
go
mean, there's
ahead?
drones. Yeah, there's drones in the movie. Like they're one of the main plot points of the movie, and it's and about news, and so it's really current, like the war that happened.
Oh, oh
That
my,
was terrible.
oh my, oh my.
It's really current, and I think Jake Gyllenhaal, like he's the best part of it. Mysterio is like, I was like, oh my god, this
Great.
is happening. This is
So
happening.
good.
This is happening. There's like a 15, no, like maybe 10-minute sequence with Mysterio, which is probably my favorite sequence in the MCU. Like the first one, and you know, Jake Gyllenhaal. I want to spoil this. But
Hold up,
We'll
hold
get
up,
there.
hold up.
yeah. I want to
Pause.
spoil this.
All right, Malcolm, what did you think of it?
I loved it. There was definitely some great moments in this, and this is probably my second favorite MCU movie of the year. Just passing Captain Marvel for me. But this is great, and the unexpected cameo which appeared, I did not expect to ever see.
Yes. We'll leave it at that. Don't say anymore. Okay, my thoughts. I 100% agree with what Abe was saying. I was not the biggest fan of Homecoming. I thought it was good, but it was missing something for me. Went into this one, was a lot more, I guess, receptive of what they were feeding me instead, because I still love the Raimi Spider-Man for all their flaws. That's just a personal feeling for me because I have an attachment to them and kind of the imagery that it evokes. So this one, I kind of detached myself from the mind. I was like, okay, what are you giving to me? What are you feeding me right now? And it was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed what they were feeding me. Man, my imagery is not on point today. I enjoyed, or rather loved, the relationship between MJ and Peter in this film specifically. I was hesitant with how they were going to do it the last time because I thought the reveal and how they did it was kind of I was not a fan of how they reveal Michelle being MJ, their version of MJ in this MCU universe. I would have preferred if they just said, this is MJ, the entire time. Why do they call her MJ? Her last name is Michelle Johnson, I believe, which makes sense in the grand scheme of things. But when we got to this one and we started seeing that chemistry fly between Zendaya and Tom Holland, I was on board. Me and my sister were cheering. We're like, yes, get together. Because I love Mary Jane and I love Peter in the comics. I love them so much. And just seeing this adaptation was a big plus because this is actually the first time. Sorry, Kristen Dunst and Tobey Maguire, your chemistry was not really that present. This chemistry was full on present, and I was living for it. I have some issues with it, and I guess issues is some of the writing, which is not always hit. But you know what? You can't always be a winner in that regard. Some of the jokes kind of fell flat and were kind of predictable. But overall, I love the idea. Mysterio, I want more Mysterio, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I definitely want to see more Mysterio, if at all they can bring him back. Because Jake Gyllenhaal, not the type of person I ever thought I'd see in a Marvel movie. All right. Spoiler time, guys. If you're listening to this now, we're going to give you, go ourselves to, 20 minutes, maybe less. So we'll go to 10 minutes. We'll make it a 10-minute discussion, guys. All right? Okay. 2-minute discussion. All right, starting now.
Jake Gyllenhaal is the villain, and he's an employee from Stark, and then he wears a spandex suit the entire end of the movie, and it's like he's the only guy that can pull that off without you
Yeah.
laughing at him.
No. He pulled that off very well. He pulls off crazy well. Besides Okja, he pulls off crazy very well.
I love the very like long, tourish, like twisted sequence they have in the middle there, where he's fighting Spider-Man and he's got him in this like trapped in this like world of illusion. Like it's just such a great. It's so well animated and shot, and it's interesting. And like Jake Gyllenhaal, just like, he has levels. I mean, like we've known that he has levels for a long time. Like this is not anything new, but it was really good, and he does a really good job at the beginning, convincing you that he's not a villain. And you're like, okay, you're like, this has to be a stupid thing that Spider-Man is doing here, because we all sort of know that Mysterio is a villain, but like.
He's literally the master of illusions in the comics. If you had no idea, maybe. But if you knew who Mysterio was, you know, okay, when's the wool gonna be thrown away, and we're gonna be like, this was the wolf this whole time in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, the parallels that they brought in between from the first Iron Man, like bringing Peter Billingsley back as tortured scientist that was yelled at Project Bridges.
Can we just also like say that Tony Stark apparently is a horrible boss? Literally, the last two. The last two movies, the people he has had negative effects on the people that he's worked with, or he hires people that are not stable. He
has negative effects on everybody, like Wanda and Pietro. That's why they become the evil twins in Age of Ultron, because they hate Stark. Like he's the anchor of the entire. Like everybody hates him.
Everybody hates Tony.
Nobody hates the Avengers. Like they hate him, and because he's with the Avengers, I guess they hate him. He's the biggest. He was the biggest villain in the MCU.
I'm only half joking, but
he's better than everybody. So I guess we probably should talk about the post-credits cameos in both cases.
I will, but first, before we get to that, can I just say one thing as well?
Yeah.
One thing that I really, really enjoyed. Before we get to the post-credit scene, which has a lot of stuff to dissect and go through, I really, really enjoyed how they managed to balance the lighthearted nature of Spider-Man, because this was something I haven't, but also fix it in with the MC universe and have some more darker themes. This one felt very light and airy, but it didn't there was some more weight to this one than Homecoming. Homecoming had weight. But this one had a lot more weight to it in a different sense, because Homecoming had it was the first Spider-Man movie we had seen since Amazing Spider-Man 2. So it had this stigma about it, but this one was kind of free of that, and it managed to stick itself apart from its predecessor while also trying to fit into the MC universe while remaining apart, and it felt wonderful in that regard.
But one thing I love, and I hope they find a way to do it in the next Spider-Man movie, if it ever happens, is if they start by doing the whole documentary style thing, just start off the movie with that. Because the in memoriam segment was great. Just showing the marching band just disappearing and then reaping in the middle of a game. It's like it's just one of those moments in which I just found
a lot of little great funny moments. I will say I was not a fan of the pants subplot. Like, oh no, I'm like rolling my eyes like I saw that coming a mile away. But other than that, I love most of the jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
I've seen that too many times. I hate miscommunication in films. Just talk it out, guys. Literally.
I did love the subtle references that this is the end of Phase 3. Like, especially like in the documentary figures, like this is bringing us into the next phase, and then at the in the end thing on the billboard behind Peter, you can see we can't wait to show you what comes next. Then 1, 2, 3 question mark.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
Well, before we get to the post credits, I did want to say one other thing. I guess if we're gonna limit it to the post credits after this, the other thing I did want to note was that I'm having a major like
Brain
mind
fart.
here.
Well, it's okay. Don't regulate. Don't regulate yourself.
No. So, with all this commentary about like Marvel's bad villains, do you think that there's something to? Are they just hiring better actors for the Spider-Man movies, or do the better rogues gallery actually make as big of a difference? Because I think that if you look at Michael Keaton's Vulture and you look at Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, like I think that they have really been a cut above most Marvel villains. And granted, those two are just stellar actors, which is where this question kind of bores from.
I see what I think. Personally, what I think it was. I don't think they gave Jake Gyllenhaal too much to do. The character, he managed to elevate the character. He elevated the material, is what I personally think. Because Mysterio could be a very corny character because the guy literally has a fishbowl on his head. But it didn't. It felt like a very threatening, realistic character, and it worked. But he managed to elevate a script that didn't give him always the best stuff to do. So I will say that it might be the actors, plus the fact we know who these villains are. So there is this kind of interesting. There's a little bit of interesting. Vulture is not really an interesting villain from what people know, but Keaton I think managed to elevate that. Mysterio is an interesting villain by himself, and I think Jake Gyllenhaal only elevated that. Personally,
I agree. I think you see it like in other MCU films, like Kate Blanchett with Hela. Like she's not that long in the movie. Like you don't even care that much about what's happening in Azure while everything's happening in the other planet, which I don't seem to remember the name. And like you want to see it because she's killing it, like acting with Carl Urban too. Like I think both of them are great, but you don't really care about the story, but you care about seeing Kate Blanchett like just killing it. And like at the end, it's just great. Like they seem to have fun with it. And like many other MCU villains, I think they took it way too seriously. Like the Dark Elves in Thor: The Dark World, which didn't seem to work at all. And that's
I mean, I just love the fact that they've been getting really high-profile actors to play the villains in so much of the last ones. You had Jake Gyllenhaal, you had Kate Blanchett in Ragnarok, you had Josh Brolin as Thanos, Michael B. Jordan as what's his face in Black Panther, and Jude Law as
well, that one.
I would love to see either Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks come in and play a villain in the Marvel movie at some stage.
Interesting.
Tom Hanks is a villain I just want to see because it would be a great reversal of expectation. Just because.
And you can watch The Circle.
Oh. Let's not and say we did.
Okay, post credits.
Take us away, Ryan.
So, how did you all feel about the Daily Bugle becoming like InfoWars? Because
I called it.
I wasn't sure. Like on the one hand, that's probably the only way you really get a J. Jonah Jameson character in a realized way. But like also, like Peter can't go work there now. Like you can't have that happen. And
yeah.
And of course, there's the bigger matter of it being J.K. Simmons, but I think we're probably all happy with that.
Oh no, happy, very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with Daily Bugle becoming like thing. I think it's a case of they're moving with the times. Yeah. So like a newspaper like who would go work at a newspaper these days? And I honestly, I don't think we'll get J. Jonah Jameson in a major sort of plot point. Well, I think he might just end up being stuck to pop up every so often in the MCU doing some kind of news piece about whatever hero is in the movie he's in, like just as a background sort of thing. Because I don't think they need to use him in a major role, especially if they don't continue with the deal with Sony and continue on with Spider-Man in the MCU.
Mm-hmm. I don't see how they're going to leave. That'd be ridiculous on all fronts. I think he's going to make little appearances here and there, and they might Peter Parker might confront J. Jonah Jameson, like as they're like, hey, what are you doing? This is false. This is fake news. In some capacity, and he'll be like, kid, this is my job. Get lost. Wait, well, no, we can't because Peter Parker's identity. I just realized that is now plastered all everywhere. So that kind of ruins a lot of. Huh. My theory is gone now. I just came to that conclusion. Huh.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
believe, yeah, and I believe this is the first, like the first cinematic version of Spidey in which his identity's actually been outed.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
because I mean, in other ones, he maybe just revealed himself, but like I don't think he's ever been outed before.
In the comics, I think I'm pretty sure it's happened before, or at least he's
Well,
revealed.
he willingly revealed in the Civil War
That's it.
storyline,
That's it.
but
Thank you.
but not being outed by a villain like going, this is Peter Parker.
That's true.
Talking about Jenkins, I think he's gonna become the Christine Everhart of the next phase of the MCU. Do you remember her from Iron Man? She's the reporter. Played by Leslie Bibb.
Yeah.
I saw
Oh.
it. She's gonna become that. He's gonna become that kind of role. Like he's not gonna play like major character or plots because I mean, what's the point of Peter working there when probably he has like all the Stark money? Makes no sense at all in that case. But like
That's
I
true.
think yeah, he's gonna make little cameos. That's I mean I spoiled myself that, so I was not that surprised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I wanted to see what was happening, so I was not that surprised at all. I saw what's like, but like what really about the post credit scenes was like Mysterious alive, then, right? I think
I don't
so.
know. I really don't know. He could be
Yeah,
dead.
Or do
I'm
you think the guy from the first Iron Man he just leaked that like they had it all worked out?
yeah, because we saw Peter Bingsley sort of remove the flash rod, so I think he probably leaked it and doctored it and all that because all that footage that that Mysterio recorded was on there. I think he might be dead, but then again, we don't know because like Mysterio might have done something tricky with the glasses to make the glasses sort of tell Peter that he is
Maybe.
dead. So
They've
that's what doesn't sit right with me.
yeah,
With
they've
that.
offered themselves a way out if need be. If Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't want to come back, which I'd be really sad if he doesn't, because Mysterio is a really interesting villain. But if need be, he can either die here or he can live on as a mantle of Mysterio. But what about Ryan? What do you think about that? Mysterio's death? Is he dead?
I don't think he's dead, but I'm with you. It's all going to be it's going to be a real world question.
Yes.
Nick Fury's just crawl?
For how long is the question? Is the thing?
Yeah.
But that was like a secret invasion, but not really.
But you know,
I mean, he's friends with Talos.
I guess.
I mean, yeah,
Talos
but
is him apparently. So it's
Yeah, but where's Maria Hill?
I could not care less.
I
But
Oh, yeah,
Maria-
everybody cares, but like, you're just taking a vacation in space.
I
Wait,
could not believe that they put Colby Smulders in this movie. I was just like, why? Why?
I mean, she's
Because she's a great actress.
No.
yeah. I mean, I could, yeah. I don't care. Not that I'll be unhappy if she appears again, but like, you know what? Oh, okay.
okay. I have a question for everybody. Maybe I didn't. At what point do they say when Tony gave the glasses to Fury? Like, do they say when they did he leave it to him? Like, why Fury? Like, they hadn't talked like for years.
Well, I think honestly I don't think that Tony ever did give them to Nick. I think because that when they're probably cleaning out, going through Tony's belongings, they probably found them and sort of thought, well, maybe he is supposed to go to Peter, and that just created a whole story just to sort of get Peter to be interested in going on this journey and all that. So I don't know. and I don't think I'll need it to be revealed either. That about the glasses, because I mean,
Oh, I was.
because it was just, it was a nice moment, and it just showed Tony's love of acronyms. Even did I'm the hero.
Yeah, even that was great.
Okay, so I have another question. Did
Uh-oh.
Edith kill Karen, the other AI from Spider-Man?
No, Edith and Karen are different.
They're
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Did she kill her?
no, I don't think she. I just think Peter's suit was like, I don't want this suit anymore. I want like a little less high tech suit, and he went back to like a normal type one. That's literally what I think it was.
I mean, I think he will probably use the Iron Spider suit if he feels like it's needed.
For bigger situations, I think he would.
Yeah. But I mean, going back to the post-credit scene, it's going to be interesting because it looks like they are going to go maybe the Secret Invasion route in that.
Maybe.
But it's going to be interesting to see how it's different, because with the Skrulls being shown as good guys now, but unless it's going to be a case of maybe not all Skrulls are good. And
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, I agree. Because that's the only reason they could do Secret Invasion right now, because the Skrulls are good guys in this MCU timeline.
Yeah.
Earth 616, as we've confirmed now. Which is a nice little nod.
And actually, that's the point I was going to bring up. With that whole story about 616, 833 and all that, the question is, like, is Mysterio really that versed in the multiverse, or is it just a created story that he made up?
Yeah,
That's
he made
okay. Yeah.
Because you can put any number.
that's
I think
what they said. He made it up.
just I think he was just being creative and pulling that out of there
Yeah.
because of Mysterio.
He's got that writer.
Yeah, he got a writer. So
He can keep up with everything. Because why not?
Yeah. But yeah, one last thing that I loved is the scene in the plane where Peter's making the new suit. Just the parallels between Happy sort of watching Peter seeing Tony doing exactly the same thing and just playing Back in Black is just great.
Oh, that's such a great drop.
I love Led Zeppelin.
Oh, that killed me. Killed me when he said that.
nobody met Peter laugh at that joke. So probably they didn't know that.
A little, yeah. No, see, I didn't laugh. I cringed. I'm like, oh, you poor summer child. That is not Led Zeppelin. But anyway, okay. Any last thoughts we have regarding Spider-Man? How would we rank this in terms of the MCU? Is this like the upper tier, middle tier, or lower tier?
I mean, like for me at the moment, it's my third in the MCU rings, but that might slide down on a rewatch.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, that's really high.
I have it like a 10.
Okay.
I have it in 11.
And how many do we have in total again?
We have 23.
Okay. So that's like upper middle.
Yeah.
That's probably where I would have it at this moment. I need to rewatch it again, but that's probably what I might have. I just kind of want to watch it again, just to, like, see the chemistry again between Zendaya and Tom Holland, because that was too pure and sweet for this world.
You guys all know your Marvel top 10s?
Hmm?
Do you guys know your Marvel top 10s?
Have them right now? No.
I do.
Never mind. If it was a fast question, I was going to ask, but if it's not fast, we'll
Oh,
move
I
on.
can name them. I can literally name them to
I
5.
can say it right now.
You go ahead and do it.
What's everyone's Marvel top 10? Curious.
Okay. Far From Home, that's 10. Ant-Man, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, Ragnarok. I'm gonna get some shit from this one. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2,
Oh.
The Winter Soldier,
Oof.
Guardians 1, and The First Avenger.
Okay.
Okay. I'm picking up mine. You go ahead, Malcolm.
My number 10 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. My number 9 is Black Panther. 8 is Civil War. 7 is Thor Ragnarok. 6 is the first Guardians of the Galaxy. 5 is Captain Marvel. 4 is Far From Home. 3 is The Avengers. 2 is Infinity War, and 1 is Endgame.
Nice. Okay. All right. For me, do I start at 10 or do you want me to go at 1?
Just start at 10, like everyone else.
Start at 10. Be like society. I see. That's what you're saying. Now this fluctuates on a daily because my tastes always change. But right now we have Avengers Endgame. Sorry, Ryan. Avengers Infinity War. I'm an Avengers fan. I think Infinity War is the superior film. We have the first Thor, the first Avenger. Have
The first Avenger or the first Avenger?
the first Avenger.
Okay.
I love that one. The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Right now, wait, nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. Hold on. That's very wrong. Hold on. You are not in the top 10. Go down. Go down. Go down. Okay. Okay, hold on. Everything needs to be bumped down, shifted back up right now while I'm adjusting on the fly. Okay. So, okay, the new number 10 right now is Iron Man. Okay. Iron Man, Endgame, Infinity War, Thor, First Avenger, Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, First Avenger, or The Avengers. Is that 9? I only have 9 on here. Okay, well, that's my 9, apparently. I don't have my 10. Why don't I have 10? So Far From Home, I guess, my 10. Okay, cool. All right.
So me and Manny have the same
I'm
number
missing.
one.
Mine goes the first Iron Man, Homecoming, Doctor Strange, Infinity War, Thor, the first one, The Avengers, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, and of course, Civil War at number 1.
That's what I forgot. That's what I forgot on my list. I'm like, I kept thinking, what am I missing? There's 9 on this list. I'm missing 1. Okay, well, point that up to like 5 or
So,
something.
It's interesting to see the differences in our MCU fandom and what we're into.
It is. It is. But hey, speaking of differences of fandom, we have about 20 minutes left, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of like give a big discussion. I finally saw Toy Story 4, so we're going to have a quick discussion on the Oscars and their relationship to Pixar, because Pixar has been a dominant force. So before we begin, I want to know what everyone's big Pixar films are. So do you guys have your Pixar top 10 lists up?
I
How
do.
many do you want?
What?
How many do you want?
I want you. We're going to go through all of them.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and start. This one I double checked. I did not double check my MCU one. So this one I know is right. Okay, so at the very bottom, we have Cars 2.
Yep.
And just for clarification, I have not seen The Good Dinosaur. The Good Dinosaur is the one I have not seen.
You haven't seen The Good Dinosaur? God.
It missed it, and I never
on
went
it.
to see it again. I need to.
Get
but
on it.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay. Well, Cars 2 is at the bottom. We can all agree on that, I'm guessing.
Does everyone agree Cars 2 is the worst?
Yes.
I've not seen the Cars trilogy, Brave, or the Good Dinosaur.
Oh, well,
Okay.
you are not missing too much
So
for
it's not
Cars.
Well, you're missing a lot on at least one of those, but
Nice.
we'll get there.
Cars 2 at the bottom. Finding Dory.
Okay, no. Whoa.
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 Finding Dory. The Incredibles 2.
No.
Cars 3.
Yeah.
A Bug's
Yeah,
Life.
bottom.
Brave. Monsters University.
Mm,
Cars.
mm.
Ratatouille. Monsters Inc. Toy Story 4. Coco. Toy Story 2. Toy Story. The Incredibles. Finding Nemo. Up. Inside Out. Toy Story 3. And my favorite, WALL-E. I know people are controversial on that one, so I will let Abe, you go.
Okay, so bottom 3 are Cars 2, 3, and 1.
Oof.
Those are. Then Brave. I think I enjoy Brave. Like I thought that was funny. I don't think it's.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's serviceable.
The Good Dinosaur, Monsters U. Then this is where we're gonna get some sides, and probably some cursing. Ratatouille. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I never saw it when it came out. It was the first Pixar movie I didn't see in theaters. Why? I don't know. I was 10 at the time. I was not dependable of my options, of my decisions. So probably. Then Finding Dory, A Bug's Life, which it's probably one of I watched the most as a kid. Like Bing was my guy. It was really funny at the time. So It's 13. Then Up, Toy Story 4, Toy Story 2, Incredibles 2, which I think I should swap. Wally, Coco, Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Incredibles, Inside Out, Monsters Inc., and Toy Story 3.
All right. It's a solid list right there. All right, Ryan.
All right, we get kicked off at the bottom with Cars 2, objectively the worst Pixar movie.
Amen.
Then we have Cars 3, which is also
Yeah.
not a very good Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Then we have a movie that will get me lots of sighs, I'm sure.
I know.
Which is Toy Story 2, which I just don't like.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Then we have A Bug's Life, which is it's just a surface level
fine.
remake of Seven Samurai, but whatever.
That's probably one of the best.
It is.
Samurai rip-offs.
What? That's what it is.
Yeah.
My mind has just been blown.
The Good Dinosaur, which is fine. The first Cars, which I actually think is better than it gets credit for.
Agreed.
Monsters University, Toy Story 4, Up. And then we get into movies I start to really like, which I'm going to start with Brave. I really dig that movie. It's cool. Finding Dory, which is just such a tearjerker. The original Toy Story kicks off my top 10. Then we have Monsters, Inc. Then I have The Incredibles 2, which of course you all know I really love. Then we have Ratatouille, which I think this is where Pixar is like, I think from here on out, these are all just sort of like God tier Pixar movies, if I have to describe them. But Ratatouille is amazing. Then we have Coco, which is a movie I just watch more and more. Finding Nemo, kicking off my top 5. Wally at number 4.
Good.
Inside Out at number 3. The Incredibles at number 2. And of course, the greatest animated film ever made, Toy Story 3 at number 1.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty solid list. I disagree with some of them, but that's a solid list. Malcolm.
Yeah, I'll repeat my preface. I've not seen the Cars trilogy, Brave, Good Dinosaur, or Toy Story 4 yet, so but my list is going to get a lot of hate.
Oh
no.
At number 15, I've got A Bug's Life.
Okay. Sure.
At 14, I've got Wally. I never loved Wally.
Sad.
Go ahead.
At 13, I've got Monsters University.
Okay.
At 12, I've got Coco. At 11, I've got The Incredibles 2. At 10, I've got Ratatouille. At 9, I've got Toy Story 3. At 8, I've got Monsters Inc. At 7, I've got Toy Story. At 6, I've got Finding Dory. At 5, I've got Inside Out. At 4, I've got Toy Story 2. At 3, I've got Up. At 2, I've got Finding Nemo. And 1, I've got The Incredibles.
Okay.
That's
not bad. That's not really bad at all. That Wally thing kills me, but you know what? I'll live.
Okay, Wally and Toy Story 2.
Yeah, why not?
I don't hate it. But...
So what I find fascinating is these lists are similar in ways, but there's certain movies that are very different. Like some movies speak more, like Finding Dory, I do not get that movie. And you guys relatively have it all higher up than me, which is like the second worst film from Pixar for me personally. I don't think it's a good movie at all. I think it literally, it's a movie that just kind of feels not plotting. What's the word? Man, that was right. Actually, that is a word.
That's the word.
It is. I was right. Okay. I guess myself. I don't enjoy that film. However, people don't care for Wall-E that much, which is a very obvious movie that people can point flaws at. For me, it speaks to me personally, and Pixar is very much more about a very personal. They're movies that are made for kids, but with adults in mind. If that makes sense, or if that's a way to phrase it. And I think that kind of says to the staying power that Pixar has, because they've dominated the Oscar circuit for most every year that's not a sequel. Literally, if it's not a sequel that's not named Toy Story, it's won an Oscar. It is literally that powerful in that regard. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of look at that list. So while I get that list set up about what it's won in the past, you guys go and kind of discuss the Pixar in general and what do you think has made it so powerful in terms of just the hold it's had on the animated, not only the animated Best Picture, but just our list in general. You'll see the differences and the similarities.
Yeah, well, I think that the creative team behind Pixar is they work in a really interesting way, and like I don't know if any of you guys have had the chance to read Ed Catmull's book Creativity Inc. But it's interesting to see the ways that Pixar develops in their system, and just sort of the like a lot of these ideas are not like totally novel in a sense, but they're novel in the way that they're brought to the screen, and they're novel in the way that they're executed. And they're always pushing the envelope animation wise, and I think that like even if you look at like I don't like Cars 3 very much, and but if you watch that movie, like the photorealistic animation they do on pavement in that movie is exquisitely impressive.
Yeah.
And it's not a good movie, and yet that we still have that. And I think that Pixar has such an identity for doing these sorts of things that I think that it has developed this into this monolith of animated film that we know it is today.
Mm-hmm. Abe, any thoughts?
I think their success is like many studios think like animated movies are for kids, even adults. Like for me, it's hard to convince like my sisters or my mom to go see like an animated movie instead if it's not a Pixar, because like they're for kids, and I don't think they take kids for granted. They're able to put these ideas, like complex ideas, into films that are family friendly. Like they're from all people. Like if you see The Incredibles, it's a middle age crisis. If you see Coco, like Coco is really like it literally talks about death. Something like American society really don't talk about, like it's death, and you move on. And it's something like you see like in other cultures, and in Coco you see it. And also they have a creative, like they put effort into it. I think each Pixar film like creation, it's at least 5 years. Like they go over, and you see the many creators that are back from the beginning, that they start as interns, and they develop to go to the directors, like the one of Josh Cooley is the one from Toy Story 4. I think he started as an intern in the first Toy Story, or
Really?
Toy Story 2, something like that. And Andrew Stadd, the doctor, and these are people like put effort into it, and also the animation. They they the most important thing is that they take their time. Like if you see a Pixar sequel, it's at least 5 years they take for each sequel. And like other studios, like the Angry Birds movie, came out in 2016, which sure is 3 years from what it's coming out this. But they don't put like it's you hardly find any depth, because like studios just want to sell for kids, and Pixar cares more. Like I'm going back to my point, like they care about the entire audience. Like they know who they're selling it to it, and also they make you cry, and everybody likes to cry for that reason.
Yes, they do. Literally. All right. Anything you want to add to that, Malcolm?
I think Abe and mine pretty much said it all pretty much.
This is true. But no, yeah, Pixar has done fantastic jobs, even though sometimes they're not always the best. They literally are like batting at what? Nine out of the movie. How many movies have they done actually? I don't
21.
know. 21?
Yeah, 21.
Well, I would say 20 out of those are arguably good movies. Like 20 out of those are arguably good movies. You can't like, other than Cars 2, which is everyone can probably agree is not the best at all.
Yeah,
Other than
Cars 2 is the movie that I think that everyone agrees is bad. Like Cars 3 is not good, but there's some stuff to it.
There's something to that, which is why I enjoyed Cars 3, because my expectations were so low that I was like, oh, this had something more than just Mater being a spy. So I enjoyed that in that regard.
And they've got 2 more coming next year.
Wait, car movies?
No, a Pixar movie.
No.
I was about to say, wait, what? No, stop, please.
I'm very excited.
All original movies next year as well.
Onward. Onward looks really interesting.
And so
And so
Yeah. Okay, so before we go, we're gonna play a little game. Do you want to play a game, guys?
Do you want to play a game?
Are you going to lock us in a room with torture
Oh,
devices?
heavens no! I have no power because I'm all the way over here in an undisclosed location. But we are going to kind of go at every year. We're just going to take a quick look at best animated feature, and we are going to kind of say, do you guys agree with the winner that year, or are you guys gonna think, nah, I don't like that winner whatsoever? I'm gonna give it to this person. All right, we're gonna start with because it's gonna be easier because the inaugural Best Picture winner for animated feature came out in 2001 for the 2000 films of that year.
Yeah.
In particular, we have a very interesting lineup. The winner of that year was Shrek. Nominations include Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius and Monsters Inc. One of these is definitely interesting.
Monsters Inc. should very clearly have won this, but Shrek was just Shrek won because it was the cultural movement of the moment.
Yes,
like
it was.
I don't know how much you guys remember 2001, but it was a particular time, and like even my parents were watching Shrek. Like this was like it was a thing.
Listen, I love the first two Shreks. So they are generally some of the funniest animated features that I've seen, and I think it should have won because it was something at that time. Like I like Monsters Inc. well enough, but I'm okay with Shrek winning. I think that's a good one. What do the rest of you think?
I think the best animated movie of the 2000 wasn't even nominated. That's Chicken Run. That should have won over Shrek.
Oh,
Shrek 2 is the better one.
You know,
Shrek 2 is the better one.
Even though I have Monsters Inc. Number 2 on my Pixar list, I think Shrek deserves it. I prefer laughing than crying, and both of them are really funny. But the first Shrek, it has something different that you can go what. Like I showed it to my niece like 2 years ago. She was 10 and she was laughing, and then we watched the second one. Like Shrek is a really endearing character, as Mike and Sully, but like their sequels haven't helped them. Or prequels. Yeah. Let's hope the series comes out. But I think the first Shrek is the best.
It's infinitely quotable, I will say. Like it is highly quotable.
If I were voting then, I would have clearly voted Shrek. But voting now, definitely Monsters Inc.
All right. Next film for the 2002, Spirited Away was the winner that year. Other films include Ice Age, Lilo and Stitch, Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. Really good movie, actually. And then Treasure Planet. I think this is easy. Spirited Away.
Got it right. They got it right.
Yeah, that's no question.
Moving on. Finding Nemo won 2003. Other nominees include Brother Bear and the Triplets of Belleville.
They also got this right.
Belleville.
Yeah, they did. Belleville. Okay, they definitely got this right.
That was the Brother Bear year, right?
That was the Brother Bear, yeah. Interesting.
Brother Bear was Disney, I believe.
It was.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, right. I actually rather like Brother Bear.
This is the era of bad Disney movies. We're just in Disney crap. Like nothing is good.
Lilo and Stitch. It's bad.
It's
fantastic.
Lilo, yeah, Ryan.
Lilo and Stitch is great.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch is really great.
It's fantastic. I'm gonna kick you off the call if this persists. Okay, number 2004, The Incredible, Shark Tale, and Shrek 2.
Once again.
Yeah.
I do think Shrek 2 is superior than Shrek 1. However, The Incredibles overall is a superior film to Shrek 2, just for emotional and what they did. So I agree.
Shrek 2 has one of my favorite sequences in film, which is the I Need a Hero sequence.
That's such a good sequence. You're right.
It's like top 3, no question. I just want to add that. Which out of the other 2, I don't know, but like it's top 3. I know that.
Okay, now this is gonna be interesting. 2005, Wallace and Gromit: Curse the Were-Rabbit is the winner. Other nominations are Howl's Moving Castle and Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. What an interesting year.
Yeah, so I think that this is if I'm voting on this year, I'm probably giving it to Corpse Bride, to be perfectly honest, because I think that is the most interesting movie. But I do like that they gave it to, and granted, 2 of these are stop motion, but like I like that they gave it to a Wallace and Gromit because I mean, I'm sure Malcolm and I probably have a little bit more inundation with Wallace and Gromit's existence than you Americans, but it's just like it was nice to see that win something, even though I don't think it's the most inspired movie of this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I think Corpse Bride should have won this. I think partly they may have been given the win to Wallace the Gromit for as a career win for the studio of Aardman itself, because we're sorry for not nominating you for Chicken Run, but here have this.
That's
Here
true.
you go. Even
Oops.
though, to be clear, Curse the Were Rabbit is a good movie, though.
It is. It is.
It's enjoyable.
Very
It's fine.
Like all three of these are good movies. They're just not movies that you think, yeah, let's go give it to this one. It's very kind of like throw a dart. This next year, though, is, I'm gonna say, not the best year. 2006, Happy Feet is your winner. Other nominations are Cars and Monster House.
You know,
2006 is not the strongest year to be.
No,
I'm a big fan of Monster House, so I would have given it to them because the first card is meh. And Happy Feet is just weird.
it's really weird.
I mean, as much as it pains me to say it, the better movie won that year.
Oh, don't say that.
Considering I've not seen Cars, but Monster House isn't great.
So for me, Cars and Happy Feet are like neck and neck. Like they both have things I really like about them. Like I kind of like that Happy Feet one just because it's so cute and fun. Like you can just watch Happy Feet and have a good time. Like, but Cars has something to say about, I don't know, small town America.
That is true.
You know, it's hard to say. I think that this would have been, I would have had a very difficult time voting this year. I don't think any of these movies are especially great, but I think that Cars and Happy Feet are both good.
2007, we have Ratatouille is your winner, with other nominations are Persepolis and Surf's Up. I have not seen Persepolis, but I've heard nothing but great things. So
it is a very good movie, but Ratatouille is still better.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I will not comment then.
Like Surf's Up is an interesting movie about.
It's so weird.
But what's even stranger is the sequel they made to Surf's Up, which had WWE wrestlers in it, and the Undertaker has a big giant penguin.
Oof. That's definitely something. All right, okay. And then 2008, we had my personal favorite, WALL-E, with other nominations being Bolt and Kung Fu Panda.
It's embarrassing that Bolt was nominated for an Academy Award. It's really deeply
There's nothing else though that year. Nothing else.
I like Bolt.
Bolt's fine. It's nothing. It's forgettable, if anything.
But I mean,
animated movies. What came out there? Waltz with Bashir. They could have nominated Waltz with Bashir.
Oh, sure. I don't think I've seen that one either.
They could have named They could have nominated Ponyo.
Oh, yeah. They should replace that then. Actually, Ponyo is actually good.
They could have nominated Star Wars: The Clone Wars. They really shouldn't have nominated.
No, they should not.
It's better than Bolt, though.
Oh,
disagree. But I actually think Kung Fu Panda should have won this year.
Well, I as evident, I highly disagree with that. But I love Kung Fu Panda regardless. It's probably one of, in my DreamWorks, better films. So
I also highly disagree, but Kung Fu Panda is good, and I'm very glad that it was nominated.
Yes, I'm glad they got the recognition that it really deserved, because it's a really good film. Now we finally get into the 5 nominations for Best Animated Picture until we go back next year to 3. Why is that? 2009 winner is Up. Other nominations are Coraline, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Princess and the Frog, and The Secret of Kells. This is actually a really good year.
This is a year I think that they objectively got wrong.
Of course you do.
Very wrong.
You all do, don't you? I'm on my island.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is the right choice, right?
I agree.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best animated movies. So
it's so good.
Yeah, it's funny, intelligent, has great performance with George Clooney and Meryl Streep as the mother, and everybody in the Wes Anderson movie. It's Wes Anderson doing Wes Anderson.
Yeah, but like in a different and interesting way. Like, I loved it. It's so.
I adore Up just because it has personal attachment to me. But Fantastic Mr. Fox, that had one, no qualms whatsoever. It's other great. I also love Coraline. Coraline is probably is highly underrated from Leica, and I think it's probably one of their best, if not for another one that's coming down the road.
So we start to get to the era where there are some movies I haven't seen, interestingly enough.
Okay.
So for this year, like honestly, if you picked Coraline, like I think Fantastic Mr. Fox clearly should have won. But if you had picked Coraline or Secret of the Kells, I would have agreed with both of those over Up as well. But I haven't seen Princess and the Frog, so I can't say if it would be the bottom of my list or if it would be not the bottom.
Second to bottom. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of the either. I've only seen Fantastic Mr. Fox and Up, and I still would have voted Up.
Good man. All right, 2010. We can all agree with this one. Toy Story 3 is your winner. Other nominations are How to Train Your Dragon and The Illusionist. Now, I will say Tangled was absolutely robbed. That is one of the best animated features from Disney. I still love and watch to this day on repeat.
Having rewatched it, I think it's better than I used to give it credit for, which, but it's still not amazing. It should have been nominated over The Illusionist.
Yes,
it's not. But that said, that like Toy Story 3, I mean, Toy Story 3 is a cut above everything else, anyways. But like,
100%.
even How to Train Your Dragon is such a big cut above.
It is.
Tangled,
It's.
so.
I want to agree with you, but I can't. I'm torn because Tangled means a lot. But plus, I think the relationship between the two of them is the highlight of everything else. Just the way that the voice performances and the journey they take are the highlight, including the animation. The animation is still gorgeous to this day.
Believe me, that lantern scene and that stupid song, like,
hey,
I love it. I love that song.
Good.
I'm in love with it, but it's still stupid. But I can be in love with things that are stupid. It's okay.
It's free country. So we all agree Toy Story 3. Absolutely.
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. And then 2011. Rango. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Malcolm. What were you gonna say?
That's right. I probably would have gone How to Train Dragon over it, with having only just seen the first one. I do like it better than Toy Story 3.
Oof. Well, I love How to Train Your
As
Dragon.
evident from me having Toy Story 3 lower on my Pixar ranking. So
That's true. Well, never mind. I guess we all can agree on that. But 2011, Rango, A Cat in Paris, Chico and Rita, Kung Fu Panda 2, and Puss in Boots. I have not seen A Cat in Paris, so I can't comment on that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen most of these, including the winner Rango. It's the only best animated feature winner I haven't seen. So I will have trouble voting, but I really like Kung Fu Panda 2. So
It is.
I think there's a very good chance I would vote for Kung Fu Panda 2, but I haven't seen Rango, so I can't really.
Rango is so weird and funny that it's a Nickelodeon movie, but it's so weird.
yeah, I would have preferred anything over Rango. I did not like it.
Oh, okay.
Kung Fu Panda 2, I think that like it's funny, it's entertaining. I think it's the best of the Kung Fu Panda movies, if you ask me.
It is.
And Rango is interesting. I think the animation looks like it's kind of realistic and not in a way. And I think Johnny Depp is really good in it. But I would go for Kung Fu Panda 2.
All right, and 2012 we get to Brave was your winner. Frankenweenie, Paranorman, Pirates, Band of Misfits, and then Wreck-It Ralph. So I'm still on the Wreck-It Ralph train, and I will be until the day I die, even though some people disagree. I know you're with Brave, I'm guessing, right, Ryan?
I am not with Brave, actually. I really like Brave, and I would vote for it over Wreck-It Ralph, only slightly. I think that those are in the same class, but I'm definitely voting for Paranorman. I just love that movie, and it's such a great homage to like horror classics, and it's so beautiful, and Leica's the best.
I wish I agreed. I just don't care for Paranorman that much in comparison. I think it's good, but what were you going to say, Abe?
I would have gotten for Frankenweenie. Like at the moment, I was rooting for Brave, but time has come, and I think I've seen Frankenweenie most times, like 4 times, and I've seen Brave 2 times. So I think that, and Wreck-It Ralph only once when I saw it in the theater at the time. But I think Frankenweenie. Whoa, we count The Nightmare Before Christmas as a Tim Burton animated movie. Out of his animated movies, I think that's his best one, and I think it has heart. It made me cry.
I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas technically was his, but he only produced it. So
Yeah.
Mm, that's true. All right, 2013. We have. Oh
but
wait, sorry.
anyway-
Sorry, I thought you were
Yeah.
just. I think you said it. Go
no,
ahead.
I would have gone Wreck-It Ralph over all of those.
Agreed. This is the first time I agree in a while. Good job. I agree with you, Abe. Malcolm. I'm trying to rush through this, so
The microphone.
kind of like.
Okay, I'll read these while
Yes.
I'm
The microphone again?
Next.
Yeah.
So 2013, our winner was Frozen. Other nominees include The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celestine, and The Wind Rises. Abe, what did you think of this year?
What won the year?
Frozen.
Frozen.
Oh, I mean,
The Croods won, actually,
mean,
just to let you know.
the snow glows white on the mountain. The only song I know by completely without lyrics and without hearing the music is Let It Go.
Well,
So
yeah.
Frozen is the correct win.
Yeah. It's a cultural phenomenon is what it was.
Yeah.
Malcolm.
And it's
Yeah,
because
Frozen is the correct one.
Yeah. I agree. As much as I like The Wind Rises and Frozen. You don't like The Wind Rises, do you?
Whoa.
Wait. Whoa.
So I really like Frozen, but I think that they blew this year. The Wind Rises very clearly.
Oh, okay.
should have won.
Okay.
That is one of the best animated movies ever, and it's just I didn't give it a perfect score necessarily, but I think it's so well made and interesting, and I really like Frozen. But again, The Wind Rises, it's just better.
I might agree with you. I need to see it again. I've only seen The Wind Rises once, and I've seen Frozen like more than enough times for my lifetime. So I might agree with you.
Everybody else.
Please and thank you.
Frozen just blocked the Wind Rising to win the award.
Yeah, just walked away. All right. So 2014, this is one where I will very vehemently disagree. Big Hero 6 was your winner. Other nominees were The Box Trolls, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. This is How to Train Your Dragon 2 all the way. I was rooting for since it won the Golden Globe, and then Big Hero 6 came in, and everyone forgot about it. Oh well. It just kind of came and went.
Big
That's
Hero
me.
6 was the best movie in this group of 5. And it won.
Wrong.
I'm with Manning in this one. I do like Big Hero 6 as well. Like How to Train Your Dragon 2 is really special film. It won everything. It's one of those
yes.
It's worse than the first one.
Wrong.
But better than Big Hero 6. No, I agree. It's worse than the first one, but better than Big Hero 6.
I disagree.
Let's see.
I've not seen any of these movies.
I haven't seen Song of the Sea.
Is weird.
I have not seen that one.
I mean, so is The Tale of the Princess Kaguya.
That one's very weird. The animation's very interesting.
It is. Can we have an easy year next year?
This one with, you mean 2015, Inside Out is your winner with Anomalisa, Boy in the World, Shaun the Sheep movie. I totally forgot this was nominated. And When Marnie Was There. I have only seen actually 2 of these, so this is when we're getting into some little interesting.
Which 2 have you seen?
Marnie and Inside Out.
Okay.
I have not seen Anomalisa. That went. I literally nowhere.
Do you want to see an extended scene of puppet sex? Yeah.
I can just watch. I can literally just watch. What is that? World Police or something? That's it.
Yeah. I've also only seen 2 of these movies, and I've only seen Inside Out and Shaun the Sheep.
I mean, Inside Out is the right choice, right?
Yeah, it is.
Although
Boy in the World is very odd.
Lego Movie should have won.
That was last year.
That was a year before.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Lego Movie came out in 2014, so it would have been this year's.
Well, it came out in 20.
Well, no, so these Oscars are for the
year in animation, like 2015, 2014 of animation.
Yeah,
Big Hero 6, How to Train Your Dragon 2, all that. So 2015 in animation, Inside Out was the winner, which I totally agree. That movie is very special. So for me personally, I think it deserves it. All right, 2016, Zootopia. is your winner
Yeah.
that year. Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, and The Red Turtle. This one's interesting because I did not care for Kubo. I didn't care for Kubo the first time I saw it. I liked it enough. Then I kept rewatching, and it just grew on me more and more and more. So I might actually replace the movie that I loved more, and that's Zootopia. Might.
I do not agree with that statement.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No,
Tell me how I'm wrong.
I think it was a really investigated, I could say,
Mhm.
movie like that looks beautiful, but it never connected with me. But Zootopia, like Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, I think they're like a great pairing. They're right there with what's the name of the characters of Lethal Weapon? Mortak and I don't remember the name of the other guy.
Riggs.
Yeah, Riggs and Mortak. I think
Oh,
they're they're great. I want a sequel to Zootopia. I'm waiting for that. So it's Zootopia is like Disney animation making Pixar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually leaning the other way. I liked Kubo, but I do think Moana should have won.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, hey, you just have seen Life as Zucchini yet, Ryan?
No, I have rejected it as a movie because it made me so angry that year. I'm sure that the whole world, if you've listened to our podcast for any extended length of time, you know what I'm picking this year, which is obviously Kubo, which is just worlds better than everything else that came out this year. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of an apt comparison. It's kind of like comparing like a painting of Leonardo da Vinci to a painting that people do in art class. Like it's
Whoa.
just, you know,
Whoa.
That's a statement, sir.
But it really just is like truly a beautiful piece of art, and
It is.
It's moving and powerful and fun and interesting. And like I like Zootopia, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed that movie, but I just don't think they're in the same class.
Mhm.
Okay, what if we put Your Name as a sixth one? What if we put Your Name in that category?
Oh, if we put Your Name in that category,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot closer, but Kubo would still win it for me. But Your Name would definitely be ahead of everything else that was in this category.
Ooh, Your Name might take it, actually. For me personally, then in that case, Your Name would definitely take it. That's a nice call.
It's a crime that it was not nominated.
100%.
Frickin' what the hell?
Red Turtle?
Red Turtle and Moana. Like,
oh, all right. Two more, guys. 2017 winner is Coco. We have other ones: The Boss Baby, Breadwinner, Ferdinand, and Loving Vincent. So we've mentioned about this prior, but we all agree Coco, right, is the one that should win.
Well, Malcolm, you had it pretty low on your Pixar list.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Coco, or
it's still better than The Boss Baby.
It is.
That's a very high bar to clear, but is it better than The Breadwinner?
No, I've not seen The Breadwinner, Loving Vincent, or Ferdinand.
Okay.
Okay, that's understandable.
Fair enough.
And then finally, 2018, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is your winner with Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, and Ralph Breaks the Internet are your other nominations that year. I think they got this 100% right.
I agree with that.
Deserved.
I would still vote Incredibles too, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is also very good. This is not one where there's a difference in class between the two movies. These are two valid competitors going against each other.
I think I said it when we reviewed the movie, like back in December. I know two people that hate that movie only: my sister and my best friend.
Oh, only two people that hate it. Hate it, not just dislike it, but hate it.
Yeah, they hate them.
Why?
Because they're weird.
Apparently.
And they're the closest people in my life, my sister.
Yeah, which is ironic, but we should have a heart-to-heart talk with them, Abe.
I've been trying to, but it doesn't work.
Okay, so looking at this statistically speaking, we've had 18 years of the animated feature. Pixar has won exactly 9. They have won half of that, and have been kind of like the dominating force to prove how much quality they usually put out and consistently put out. So good props to them. But before we go, one last thing: is there any year that Pixar has had a film out that you guys would personally put in the best picture, like that is not done? Like Toy Story 3 and Up don't count because they're already there. But what other years would you say, like, I would like to put a Pixar film in that category?
Inside Out.
Yeah, I mean,
2004.
Okay.
I mean, like anything before 2009 is hard because I agree with all the ones that the 5 in the best picture.
Mhm.
But it's I probably would have maybe agree with Abe say Inside Out probably.
Okay. But what would you replace that year is the big question.
Was 20,
Well, I wouldn't replace anything because I would have just had it happily be like a 9 or 10 slot. I can't remember how many best pictures there was that year. There was exactly 10.
okay, so here in 2015, I would have taken out Breach of Spies.
Oh,
If I had
Yeah.
to take one.
There's a lot of years I would do this for. 2004, I would drop Finding Neverland in favor of The Incredibles.
I would get on board with that.
Yeah,
Fun Neverland was great.
I love it too. I love Finding Neverland too, but I think Incredibles just a little bit better than the rest.
2008, I would have dropped. I would have probably dropped Milk. In favor of Wall-E.
are you lactose intolerant?
Yes, that's exactly why Ryan would take it off the list. He
That-
was lactose intolerant.
Absolutely, and
It was not
killing me.
Yeah.
2015, I would have dropped Brooklyn in favor of
Mhm. We
Inside
know
Out.
this to be the case.
You know it to be true.
No, it's not true.
In 2017, I would have dropped. I mean, there's a lot of movies I would have dropped in lieu of this, but what was probably my lowest one was Darkest Hour, so I'll drop Darkest Hour
Mhm.
in favor of Coco.
Yep.
And in 2018, because it did make my top 10, I would have dropped. My lowest on this one was obviously Vice.
Oh yeah.
But that aside, I would have also dropped Green Book in favor
Yeah.
of it
Oof.
too. So
Yeah.
got some choices.
The question is, does Toy Story 4 get into the best picture race next year?
Oof.
So,
I
don't
mean, unless
think
this year doesn't get better than it is now.
Which I highly doubt. Usually back half.
We
it's
gotta have
usually back half heavy.
I mean, we all know that Hellboy and Men in Black and Dash are going to be in the
Oof.
best picture race, right?
Oof. Yes. Absolutely. For Razzies.
Hellboy is great.
Now, I will say Toy Story 4, because it's gotten this much, which I will say, anyway, I mentioned prior a little bit more about. Oh yeah, mine would be Wall-E, so I guess I would agree. I would take Milk out as well. Or I might take out The Reader. One of those two I might take out.
Yeah, I just think The Reader is slightly better than Milk, which is the
Okay,
reason I
if we
picked
ask
that.
you, we're gonna put one, Wall-E or The Dark Knight. Which one do you put?
Oh, Wall-E. I love
Dark
Wall-E.
Knight.
The
But Dark
Knight.
Knight's great. Okay, of course. I'm the only person. Wall-E, of course. I was like, yeah, Dark Knight.
You were outvoted.
Oh well. Well, you know what? Hey, we can take out both Milk and The Reader. We can put them both in, and I'd be happy.
The Reader.
Fair enough.
Because
I
as
haven't
long as
seen The Reader.
it's fine, it's fairly good. But anyway, yeah, Toy Story 4, as I had mentioned prior, I really enjoyed it. I do agree with Ryan. I don't think there was a need for this film because the trilogy was wrapped up so beautifully. But what I was given, I enjoyed in the time period, especially with Woody's overarching story. So that's just my simple thoughts. I cry like a baby at the very end because I love these characters so much, and obviously, you do something like that, and it just kind of like hits me in the chest, guys. Stop it, Pixar.
So I think we all agree that Toy Story 4 is getting nominated for this year's best
100%,
animated feature.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way this goes.
It is.
And I'm pretty sure we know that Frozen 2 is going to get nominated for it.
Yes.
Like, unless it's objectively bad, it's going to get nominated. How to Train Your Dragon 3, I think, is a pretty safe bet.
I hope.
Do you think they nominate The Lion King?
That would be the
No.
controversy of the year.
It's an animated film. It's
it is.
animated.
Well, the question is, don't you say that it's going back down to 3 next year? Or
Is it?
I don't know. I thought you said something about it
Oh no, no,
Is it-
I meant like there was one year, but it was the year with
Oh yeah,
Coraline.
2009 and then 2010
It's
went down to
weird.
3.
They switched and then went back up the year after. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I think best animated is similar thing for the best pictures. Like depending on what gets thrown out, it can either be between 3 and 5. I think.
Mhm.
Does
With
that
it.
does that Playmobil movie have a chance? Because I saw a trailer for that a couple. I don't remember which movie I was. I was watching Toy Story, and I saw a trailer for that, and I kind of laughed.
The Playmobil movie has just as much chance as the Ugly Dolls movie.
Oof. I forgot that
Oh,
came out. I honestly
yeah.
forgot the Ugly Dolls came out.
No,
And
yeah.
like Missing Link wasn't very good, but it's probably gonna get nominated because like
They
they
like
don't have
Leica.
anything else
It's
to
Leica.
nominate.
They like Leica.
Yeah.
Well, unless the Addams Family does something, you know.
Or
Well,
Angry Birds 2.
I thought Adam Sandler was next year. Was it?
yeah,
This
I thought so
October?
too.
Unless they
Or-
moved it recently, but it says this October.
What?
Spies
Adam's
and
Family is in October.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Also, the Will Smith,
Okay.
what the Spy in Disguise, I think it's called, the one where Will
that's
Smith.
No, that's
What
Oh, that
foreign?
comes out in October.
Oh, we're getting
What-
another Makoto Shinkai movie this year. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
correct their
What?
mistake.
Wait, which one?
Makoto Shinkai is making another movie.
Is he
this
the
year.
guy who did Your Man?
Yes,
Your
he is.
name? Your Man.
Yeah.
Your name.
Yes, he is.
Wait, what movie is this? I did not hear about this actually.
He is doing a movie called Weathering with You.
Ooh, I'm down. I'm already down. After Your Name, you're I'm down.
There's also the Angry Birds the second Angry Birds movie.
Man, animation this year is not great. It looks like
It's not a strong field. Let's just put it that way.
Oy, wow. Yeah, I mean, other than like Spies
Or
and
the Thing too.
Farmageddon. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. Okay, so honestly, at this point, it looks like Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon 3, or the How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World officially.
Mhm.
And then throw one of those. Throw maybe a Japanese film, animation film in there somewhere,
Yeah,
and
probably.
then one more film.
I'm going to be really surprised if they throw in Lego Movie 2.
They won't.
Yeah,
I mean,
at this
there's
point,
a-
I just don't have.
I don't think they will, but it could be a case that they'll nominate because of all the shit they got from not nominating the first one. They could maybe it could be the animated version of the Career Awards.
If they were gonna do that, though, I think they would have nominated like Lego Batman. Like
Yes.
if they were gonna make a correction.
Because this one was so forgotten, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. But
Yeah, I barely remember that it came out.
Yep.
I didn't see it, so
no,
that's
no wonder you don't remember it. That makes sense. Okay. But yeah, any last thoughts you guys have concerning the animated Oscar race this year or Pixar in general?
Was also a sequel of Pets 2 and Spies in Disguise, but it's going to be interesting because there's so many sort of big animated movies that are out. It's going to be interesting to see if a foreign one does make it through the gates.
Yeah.
Because it was last year. There was only Mirai was the only sort of non big
English.
budget. Well, not so much non-English,
Dog,
but
but-
non sort of big budgety.
Hmm.
yeah.
But-
Well, they
well,
also had
no,
Isle of
yeah.
Dog, but in any event,
I think Isle of Dogs was probably still more well known than Mirai. So
Yeah, no, yeah, I do agree with
Yeah,
that.
at least in the United States for sure. But
I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing exactly how they're going to like, because isn't like Studio Ghibli still a thing, but Hayao Miyazaki's retired, right?
so,
No.
Hayao Miyazaki is coming out of retirement to make one more movie with his son,
Oh, when
which
was?
is supposed to come out a few years from now.
Oh, okay.
Studio Ghibli is not still a thing except for Hayao's movies.
Wait, what?
They
So-
haven't produced a movie from anybody else, and they keep dying and not dying and then dying again. Like Studio Ghibli's life cycle is very limited. So now there's this other studio which made Mary and the Witch's Flower, and I can't remember what it was called, but it's like all the people who worked at Studio Ghibli just created a different studio.
Oh, They co-produced the Red Turtle. Okay, that's what it was. All right, they didn't fully
Yeah,
produce
yeah. It's still one of their movies, so to speak. But like,
it. Okay.
yeah,
So Marnie was their last, technically.
I count the Red Turtle, but yeah,
Okay.
Marnie was their last like good one.
And how do you live? Okay. All right, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, well,
And I do like Hayao Miyazaki's son's movies too, so I'm curious to see where this goes.
well, we can actually look forward to talking about maybe the Hayao Miyazaki and his films in the future. But we're gonna sign off
Yeah.
now. Okay, I promised Abe it'd be 11:45 when we stop, and that didn't happen at all. So whoops. We went over
I
as
have
always.
nothing else to do. I have
Oh,
nothing
you're
else
right.
to do.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I have to go to bed though. So.
I have
I
somewhere
think
else to be, but
True. I have work tomorrow because I was off today. But anyway, we're gonna sign off by saying, Ape, where can the people follow you? What do you got
you
going
can
on?
follow me. I have nothing else going on.
Oh.
We do the summit every Monday live on Take 3. You can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamF25. You can follow me on Instagram at AbrahamFlores25. And please do not add me on Facebook if you don't know me. I don't care about you. My mom just sent me a friend request today. Guess what? I won't be accepting her.
Ouch. Okay. That's savage. Malcolm.
No, I don't want to see
Can
my
you like
post.
just like be friends and then just like not follow?
yeah.
Oh, that's an idea.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
want you to
okay.
see.
I
No,
got
I like my mom. I like my
But you
mom.
can find me on Take 3 Productions hosting Rankum every Sunday night. And this week's topic is going to be top 12 acting portrayals in non-MCU Marvel movies. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a special guest on there who may be a bit corrupted. But
Uh-oh.
you can also find me on Full Metal Trivia hosting Full Metal Random every Tuesday. And you can find me doing various other things all over the place. And I'm on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Melkor.
I fully expect Toby Kebbell from Fan Four Stick as Doctor Doom to be on there. I expect that completely. Ryan, what are you looking out for in the future? Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Letterboxd, Twitter, Facebook, whatever at rmckenna19. You know, I'm just gonna try and sleep. I'm gonna try and watch Stranger Things.
There you go.
And just have a good weekend. Happy post 4th of July to all you American folks. Happy belated Canada Day to all of the great Canadian folks. And you know, by the time this comes out, happy Bastille Day to all our fans in France, if we have any.
Oh, there you go.
You know, it's the month of July, and what a month it is.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a little more dead this July for as we get later until Lion King happens. So get ready for that, guys. That's going to be epic. And then, of course, looking out for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So everyone get ready for that one. That's going to be a big discussion. I'll let Ryan talk about his love for Tarantino. I'll let him have all that. But anyway, you can find me, of course, here on my channel or here on Take 3's channel, and then on my channel as well, too. Manning Franks. It's an easy name. Can't forget it. Where I'm currently doing video essays, and again, working on the Westworld one, where it's going to be a nice one concerning biblical allegories and literary devices, how they can tell us a little more about ourselves as humans through Westworld storytelling, as well as another one, that's a quick one that I'm working on about, close-up shots and how they affect us through the human soul and why the eyes are such an important thing of human feature concerning cameras. And yeah, you can also find this podcast on Spotify and Breaker and literally almost any other thing that's not Apple Podcast. Literally everything else is not Apple Podcast. So they still have not gotten back to us, and I am upset. I am salty. Come on, Apple Podcast. Accept us. Love us. And also here on YouTube, if you're watching it on YouTube or vice versa. Find all that in the description below. Click the links, like, subscribe to Take 3. And I look forward to seeing you all again at the movies. And until next time, see you later.